everyone, Once Bitten here. So, Buckeye Battles 2017, we go to Game 3, my Undying Dynasties versus a Dread Elf army. Now, I'm playing Jake Murphy. He's a fantastic player. We've played once before. It's at the same tournament a few years ago, and just a real heartbreaker. It was, in my mind, an epic game where my Empire, he was playing Dread Elves, and I just shot him to death. And at the end of the game, he had like just a few models on the table, but because we were playing rules as written, if there's a single model left in a unit, he got points for the whole unit. So he actually won the game, even though he had nothing on the table. I was none too happy about it. It's kind of funny as we go into this game. So I actually kind of liked my matchup here. I've got a lot of shooting. He's elves, and so he's relatively fragile. He has a lot of his list is built around shooting. Pretty much almost every single thing in this army shoots. Even his characters take something to shoot with. But the difference is, of course, that I can regrow wounds and he can't. Now we're playing the scenario objective where you each have to pick 3 units, and you want to destroy your opponent's the 3 units you choose in your opponent's army. They have to be 3 scoring units. And that one's a real tough one for me because everybody just chooses my 3 units closest to them, and my army's designed that I know I'm going to lose a few units. So very, very consistently, my list struggles with this scenario. Anyway, let's go to his list. Starting at the far left, he's got a couple units of crossbows. He's got his Raven Cloaks. Then that big, beautiful, really cool model. He's playing that as a Kraken. Just nicely done. I really like it. Big unit of Dancers of Yema on the hill, and Dancers of Yema. He has 3 units of them. This is his largest unit with, I believe, 18, and they've got the Flaming Standard. Now his mage has the Lore of Alchemy, which can make a unit flaming, so that's a great combination. If he gets this unit into one of my Battle Sphinxes, he'll probably be able to reroll to wound with a lot of really accurate attacks, and he'll probably win that. So I'm definitely keeping that in mind. Top right of this picture is another unit of crossbows. This one is his larger unit, full command, and he's got his BSB and a spellcaster in there. The list, of course, is in the description, but yeah, nothing too special about those characters. He's got a Hydra, smaller unit of Dancers of Yema. Then he's got his 3 Dread Reapers. And then on the far right-hand side, he's got a mid-sized unit of Dancers of Yema with another unit of crossbows. So I was kind of surprised he was spread out across the table, but then again, I was spread out across the table because of the big stupid hill in the middle. So I've got a catapult on the far right, so you can see what he was doing. He just put crossbows across from it, and then he's just going to shoot it off the table. So if that catapult has a better target, I'll shoot somewhere else, but that hill blocks most of the table. So, if nothing else, I can shoot at this unit of crossbows. If I hit them and force a panic test, they might just run off the table. Anyway, I have a Battle Sphinx up there, my first Casket of Phatep right where you can see it. In hindsight, he's way too close. I think I put him close enough because I wanted to be able to target even his bolt throwers. The problem with that, of course, is his bolt throwers can target me. Of course, they have a higher range. They were going to be able to target me anyway. There in the middle, you can see I've got my various archer units. I tried something here that really ended up biting me in the butt, and that is I put my 2 fast cav units behind my archer units, thinking I was just going to try to hide them from shooting, get some kind of cover in there, and then still be able to move them out when I needed them. Anyway, you can see everything there. I've got a Battle Sphinx there in the middle of the table, and there's my left flank, and there's another, well, here it is. There's a catapult in my left corner. All right, so because I have so many units he deployed before me, he decided to go first. He moves up, as you can see. Here on the right-hand side, his dancers over here actually tried to charge my Battle Sphinx. I was rooting for him. If I didn't think it was cheating, I would say, don't even roll the dice. They're in. You want them in. I want them in. Put them in. Because unless he gets just really, really, really lucky, I'm just going to eat that unit. I don't care how many attacks he has. He doesn't have enough. And but they failed it. That just sucks. And then on my turn, I made a blunder, and it ended up working out. It's kind of funny. Now over here, I was really confused by this, and he really snookered me. This is a nice play, and I won't let it happen to me again. But basically, he moves his Kraken up where you can see him, and his big Dancers of Yemi behind it. And all I can think is, oh my gosh, if I charge my Necro unit into that Kraken, I'm not going to kill him on my charge, and he's not going to have a great counter charge on his turn. If I beat him on his turn, then I can just pivot and charge anything I want, and my opponent's in trouble. And I was just fixated on that. This little model, if you see him floating around the table, that's his spell familiar. I think he has Master of the Dark Arts. So when he goes to the magic phase, he puts this guy out. He can use him for line of sight, and then he just moves him away. So there's that. And we go to my turn. Now we ended up not getting 6 turns in, and the main reason for that is because my movement phase took so freaking long, and it's because we had a rules question / dispute. It was very friendly, but we disagreed on it. And so I went on the forums and found out later that we were both right and both wrong. But what I was trying to do here was my top left unit was going to charge forward, and I wanted my fast cav unit to be able to redirect something should I need it. And so I took my unit on the left, the bottom left, and just scooted him over to the left to open up a little more space. And I thought I could just measure the distance from my closest and farthest model and just put him where I want him. And Jake said, no, you have to show me what the reforms are and measure the distance from where you start to your position at each reform, which cuts your movement down. First of all, it would take forever to do that, and secondly, it cuts your movement down a lot. So at the end of the day, we just finally said, I can't do what I was hoping to do, which kind of screws up everything, and we would have to go all the way back to deployment to fix it. And I'll talk about that at the end of the video. Actually, like I said, we were both right and both wrong. So we go to my turn. And so if you look on the left, my Necroguard charges Kraken and he flees. And it was so funny. Like, it never occurred to me that he was going to flee with that guy. He snookered me good. Darn it. Darn it, darn it. I'm screwed. And the fast cav could have, my plan was for them to scoot up and redirect his large unit of the Dancers of Yima. That's their job in life, is to do that kind of stuff. And after the rules dispute, not only did we waste freaking 30 plus minutes on it, but now I can't do that. I moved him as far as I could. I think I was just trying to make it to where if his dancers charge in, they would overrun and hit my fast cav rather than overrunning and hitting that unit of archers, which he could then fight with a Hydra and then overrun again and just be all in my backfield. So the fast cav are serving a purpose, but it's not nearly as good as what I'd hoped they would be doing. So there's on the left, and that was huge. Him fleeing was a fantastic move, and then me not having fast cav available was just horrible. Now here on the right, again, I was just in my head too much. I wanted to charge my Battle Sphinx into his Dancers of Yima. So my thinking was, I'll charge these crossbows. They'll have to take a terror test, and of course they'll fail it, roll off the board. Then of course I'll pass my redirect test, and then charge the Dancers to get a twofer. And it's so funny. So I declare a charge, and he takes a terror test, and he passes it. I'm like, well, shoot, I didn't want to make that because it takes like a 10 to get there. I'm probably going to fail it. And if I fail it, the Dancers might be in my flank, and there's actually a pretty good chance of him winning if he gets, like, I don't know what was going on. But anyway, then I make the charge. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that actually worked out well. Just like I planned. I really need to just start playing better. Here on the left, then I make another long ball charge. This is another unit of Necro. I think I needed a 10 to make this, and he didn't want this combat, but he thought I would fail the charge. I think he wanted these Raven Cloaks to be able to start charging my, like the war machines and caskets. And I make it. So this is nice. Now, if I overrun, I clip the unit on the right so I can just charge them if I roll high enough. If I don't roll high enough, my opponent can choose just to kind of combo charge me, and I might be in trouble. But go figure, whatever. This is the deadly one. So now his Dancers of Yima are going to charge into my unit. I need to get them whittled down, or else they're going to obliterate that unit, and it just doesn't work. I do, I think, 4 wounds to that group, to that unit. Not nearly enough. They've got a ward save. I think a 5-up ward save outside of combat and a 4-up in combat, something like that, I think. And yeah, just couldn't do it. So that hurts. Over here on the right, I easily won that combat. And I don't think this was a panic from a unit within 6 inches. This might have been from shooting. Whatever it was, whatever caused it, his Dancer of Yima here on my right flank failed their panic and ran away, which is fantastic for me. It just kind of it's just more time. I can just sit there and shoot at him with, there's only a couple units over here that can shoot at him, but nevertheless, I'll take it. And then these guys over here beat his Ravencloaks, of course, overrun, and they make the charge, and they are where they are. So his crossbows on the left can't see me to countercharge. His Dancers of Yima on the right can't see me to countercharge, although I wish they could, because they're about to do something even worse in my mind. His Kraken is fleeing, so he can rally, but he's not going to be able to charge me. So in my mind, I'm going to destroy this unit on my opponent's turn, which is what you always want. Then I can pivot. And if he's not careful with how he moves his general's unit, I might be able to pivot and charge his general's unit in the flank. It depends on, does he move them and where's the Kraken and stuff like that. Worst case scenario, I might be able to pivot and charge the back of the Dancers of Yima. I could pivot to the left and charge those guys. This was just fantastic over here. All right, so we go to Dread Elves turn 2. His Hydra charges the flank of the Fast Cav. His big unit Dancers of Yima charge these guys. And yeah, my guess he's thinking here that he does the Dancers of Yima first. They overrun, hit the Fast Cav. We do that one. And they overrun again and hit those archers. And again, he's kind of all about my business. So just really, really bad. Over here, shooting on my catapult. He's done 3 wounds to it, which I actually don't mind losing these things by the end of the game, as long as I get some important shooting in the early game. And what I needed was for them to hurt that big unit of the Dancers of Yima, and they didn't do that anyway. Here in the middle of the table, I put my Battle Sphinx up on the hill. My idea here is I'm gonna go ahead and use my breath weapon on those dancers. Let's get them weak. Maybe force a panic. If they run away, I can charge his general's unit, which is awesome. If they don't, I can charge in. He has less chance of getting me, of sneaking some wounds through. The problem is I know I'm exposed. He has just so many shots in the air. His general's unit alone is, what are they, 15? So that's 30 shots plus the Skull Splitter from the Oracle plus shots from his BSB. It's just so many accurate shots in the air, plus his 3 Dread Reapers. Now I did park my Fast Cav. I guess we can go back. Bear with me. Look at the top middle. I marched my Fast Cav way up there so I can start charging his Dread Reapers. The point isn't really that I'm going to do a whole lot. One, I know if he focuses on me, he can kill that unit. 2, if I do charge in, I may or may not be able to kill him. He strikes first. These guys are really weak, all that kind of stuff. But I did it because if he's shooting at them, he's not shooting at my Battle Sphinx. And I think it took at least 2 of them to be able to kill him. So they, in that sense, they did their job if it saves my Battle Sphinx and allows him to do something really helpful. Over here, his Dancers of Yima didn't do nearly as well as I thought they would. And he won combat, crumbled me down, but I've got 1 guy remaining, which held that unit up. It's absolutely huge. So nice. The downside of that is on my turn I can't shoot him. But I wasn't going to shoot him anyway if they were in combat with those archers. Matter of fact, that would have been awful because he would have beat those archers on my turn and then pivoted, and that would have been game, to be honest. Just awful. So that was insanely good luck there. Because I don't know how to play this game, I had it lined up to where his Hydra could overrun and just clip this unit of archers. I'm just really doing a bad job this game with these central units and moving them. Just a really bad job. All right, so we go to my second turn. I can't believe it's only my second turn. We're like 2 hours into this game. So Necroguard charges the flank of the Hydra. This is kind of a gamble for me because he's going to get so much combat res, but I'm going to have a lot of attacks with poison and with Lethal Strike. I'm hoping it's enough. Here in the middle, I go ahead and charge the unit of Dancers of Yima. At this point, he's using that unit to redirect me from charging his general's unit. And after combat, I kill him down. He has 1 guy left, which was just awful. Because if he didn't have 1 guy left, I could just overrun or pivot and just threaten his general's unit. Just make it really awkward for him. As it is, I had to pursue the guy, which takes me, so my next turn I can't charge his general's unit. Then I don't even catch him. It's just the worst of all worlds with that Battle Cat. And then over here after combat, yeah, don't remember how it happened, but I basically have him down. I think he only has 1 wound remaining, maybe 2. I think just 1, whatever it is. Yeah, my skeletons are all dead, but somehow, some way, I didn't crumble very much. Probably because of my combat res. Charge, big flank, banner, rank, and a few wounds. So I know that the unit of Dancers of Yima, which still, if you look at them, I still haven't... Oh, I couldn't shoot at them. That's why they're still not weakened. But they're going to easily kill my last remaining Necro Guard there and charge the rear of this unit. My hope is that I can at least get the Hydra off the table before this unit inevitably gets crushed. So, Dread Elf turn 3. Overall, it looks like this. Yeah, that is no bueno. Over here, let's see. So remember when I got the overrun into his unit, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I just beat this unit on my opponent's turn, we're great. He rolled like amazingly well, and not only did I not crush him, he easily stuck and just did a lot of wounds to my unit. So on my opponent's turn, we fought again, and I finally beat him. But now I'm just kind of sitting here with his Kraken ready to charge. So his Kraken charges. So that's not good. My Battle Sphinx that was out of position anyway, but he shoots at him with everything he has and gets him off the table, which really hurts. This guy wins. That's no surprise. The Hydra dies. It's nice. I use a Necro unit in the process, which isn't ideal. And he's sitting out there. But at least on my turn, I can shoot at him. So we go to my turn. And, you know, it's a bloody game. Like, both of us are starting to lose a lot of units. Here on the far right, he did a lot of shooting at this Battle Sphinx. I only have 2 wounds left. And I decide just to take him into combat. And I know that it's risky because he just has a lot of... They're low strength, but there's a lot of really highly accurate attacks. And he just needs to sneak a couple wounds through. I'll have a 4-up armor, but, you know, it's just you just never know. But I think for the most part, I'm going to kill this unit. You know, I've got 12 attacks plus Thunderstomp, plus I cause terror, and he has to take a fear test. There's just a lot of things going for me. And if I didn't charge him, he was just going to shoot me to death anyway with his 3 Dread Reapers. So it's the only place for him. We go to shooting or magic, I forget which, but one of the 2 kills off his Kraken. So, you know, that's nice. We go to shooting, and finally, my shooting just explodes, and I kill this 18-man Dancers of Yima unit down to 2 guys. That went really, really well. Actually, the only downside of it is now they're small enough they can charge past my Necro unit into a casket. Darn it. And over here on the right, he sneaks 2 wounds through on my Battle Sphinx. I've got a 4-up armor. I just need to make one of them, please. Because, you know, I haven't even attacked yet, right? And I fail both of them and die. Even if he just got 1 through, and then I could just attack and get... Even if eventually I died, if I could just get more wounds off this unit, that'd be really nice. This is a scoring unit, one of the 3 that I chose. I really need this unit dead. So, and I haven't even been tracking the markers, but my opponent, I think the units that he said he would kill, he's already killed. He just got the ones that were closest to his main lines. And, yeah, that unit, I think I've got... the unit of crossbows that my Necro charged was one of his units, so I got them. I think his unit that my Battle Sphinx went after was another one, and they were rallying on half leadership and are off the table, so I got them. So the unit on the right is actually pretty huge because that's the scenario objective, whether we draw it or he wins it. Anyway, Dread Elves turn forward. The 2 remaining Dancers of Yima charge my casket. Here on the left, he shoots the last wounds off my catapult. And then we go to combat, and his 2 Dancers of Yima can't... I just made ward saves, and he couldn't do anything, and I killed one of his guys. So that was actually kind of funny, I thought. Let's see. We go to my turn, and I have 3 archer units. I've got a catapult in the right corner. I've got magic. Dang it. I need to get that unit on the right off the table. My Necroguard on the left, they don't really have a huge purpose in life. I was thinking about turning around and facing the Dancers of Yima, who's in combat with my casket. But they don't have musicians, and I didn't want to take the chance that his general's unit make a long ball charge into their rear. So it's a long charge, but they could make it. So if I'm facing him, you know, he's probably not going to do it. I make a mistake here. I shoot with these guys, and I should have started with my farthest unit, but I did. I just started with various other units, and they got to a point where they had to take a panic test, they ran away, and then my farthest unit couldn't shoot them, which might have made a difference of a wound or two, which can matter. We go to Dread Elf turn 5. I think he has a unit way on the far left, I think maybe with nothing to do. Otherwise, here's everything. He's got his general's unit that's just kind of sitting there trying to do damage where he can. He's got his 3 Dread Reapers just sitting there trying to kill my Casket, but you can't do because I keep on making my ward save. And he's got his Ymir in combat with my Casket and his Dancer's Ymir that just rallied on the far right. So he shoots this unit, gets him down. I just need to hide him, save those points. We go to my turn. I move towards his guys. I magic move up, and I just shoot everything I can. Now, we're not going to get to turn 6 because the game has taken too long. We go to shooting magic. I throw everything I can at him, and he has 1 guy left. This is so reminiscent of the last time we played a few years ago. He's got 1 guy left in that unit, and because of that, he's going to win the scenario objective. We go to combat here. I honestly don't remember if he killed the Casket or not, but I know his unit died. I think what might happen is he killed the Casket exploded, it killed his guy, and did some wounds to me. I think that's what happened, but it's possible that I just killed him. I don't know. Anyway, we get to the end of the game, and it looks like that. He just... Oh, if I got that 1 more wound, if I'd made 1 armor save with a Battle Cat and then did any wounds to that Dancer Team unit on the right, anything at all, it would have been, I would have gotten those points, and he wouldn't have got the scenario objective, blah, blah, blah. As it turns out, points-wise, he was up 12-8, and then with the scenario, he got 15-5. This game that I was like, I really liked my matchup, and I knew it was tough and bloody and was going to be kind of close. I got 5 points. Damn it. This tournament is giving me gray hair, I swear. Oh, yeah, it was a fun game. I don't know. I don't like the way I played in this game. And I'm okay with that. For me not to like the way I played and yet to still have it close. I mean, granted, I got really lucky. I had some long ball charges. When his big unit of dancers couldn't break through my Necro unit, I was stuck with 1 guy remaining. I had some insanely good luck in this game. I think that really saved me. I think the way I played, I probably deserve the points that I got, or if not fewer. So on to the rules question. So I thought the way you played this was you simply, as long as you had a 2-inch gap, so 1 inch, my model's 1 inch wide and then a 1/2 inch on either side, you just measure from first guy to last guy, make sure they have the distance to go where you want to go. Jake was saying you get free reforms, but you have to measure the distance from each guy to where he would be in each reform, and so you can't go nearly as far. In that, he was wrong. I went on the rules forum today, and you do indeed measure the distance from starting to ending. That's all you have to do. But you do have to show where you would be, in what formation you would be at every step of the way. So even if my lower Necro unit moves to the left a little bit, it's very legitimate for your opponent to say, great, you want to move that gap. How are you moving? So, all along the way, what's your reform? What's your reform? Because you do have to be able to fit. And I think if there's a place in the middle where it'd be really tough, even if I have single file to fit in there. So lesson learned. Just in the future, I just won't leave things quite so tight with my fast cav. So my opponent was right about that part, because he was saying too that you did have to have the reforms all along the way have to be legal. And I just hadn't thought about that. I thought that was simple, like they could just snake their way through. So fair enough. Anyway, that was it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.